All right, so for Rhystic Study replacements, if you're looking for budget options in Commander, Jason, why don't you start us off?
I've got a card that has a tendency to draw a few more cards per trigger than Rhystic Study, because it's harder to pay the mana for this card than it is to pay the one for Rhystic Study, but you do have to pay to keep it around. The card, of course, Mystic Remora.
Now, that card's great.
Mystic Remora doesn't trigger on everything Rhystic Study does trigger on, but people just don't pay the 4. They just can't. They won't.
Yeah, so
especially early in the game.
Mystic Remora, one, if I'm doing this from memory, but one blue. Cumulative upkeep of 1, which means every turn you have to pay 1 and then 2 and then 3 and so on. And then it's every time an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card unless they pay 4.
Unless they pay 4, which
they never do. Maybe once I've seen somebody ever pay 4.
It's fairly trivial to bring Mystic Remora back from the graveyard. Also, you've got lots of ways to do that. So I'll play it early and I'll play it often, and it'll draw me a ton of cards. And it's not bulk anymore, but it is fairly affordable compared to Rhystic Study. And if you haven't played it, it's pretty efficacious. So I would definitely recommend looking into that as a budget replacement.
Yeah, it's about $7 right now, and frankly on the way up. So if you do think Mystic Remora is going to be your replacement for Rhystic Study, now's probably time to get in on it. DJ, how would you replace Rhystic Study?
I've got one that I think you have a very, very long time to get because it's very cheap, and I don't think anybody's actually heard of this card. I have played it once in a couple decks, and it is called Insight, just the word Insight. It is a 3-mana blue enchantment, and it's in the same vein of Carpet of Flowers, where it hates on a specific color. It's whenever any opponent plays a green spell, you draw a card.
That was Tempest, right?
I know it from 8th edition, but maybe. If you're playing at a table where none of your opponents are playing green, you're already at an advantageous position, and if they are playing green, you get to draw a bunch of cards, because green players like to play more cards than you, because they get more lands. Insight is the same mana cost as Rhystic Study, but it'll probably draw you several cards over the course of the game.
The art is Gerard talking to Ella Danbury, so yeah, definitely Tempest.
There you go. All right, I'll finish this off. I have a card that I'm actually audibling to this last minute here, but interested to hear what you both think. Search for Azcanta. Card $6. Comes down a turn earlier than Rhystic Study. It doesn't draw you cards, but frankly, I've looked. There's not a ton of cards like Rhystic Study. There's a reason it's so good. Mystic Remora, Insight, these are very good cards, but there's not a ton like that. But Search for Azcanta, you know, it's kind of like drawing a card every turn. Scrying.
It's Surveil. It's Surveil.
Yeah, you're right. Surveilling. So you search for Azcanta, a 2-mana enchantment, legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card. You can put it into your graveyard. If you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you can transform Search for Azcanta into Azcanta the Sunken Ruin, which adds blue mana, or it can pay 3 and tap, look at the top 4 and get a non-creature, non-land card into your hand.
It's crazy how cheap that card is now.
Yeah.
I used to buy that card for 15.
Yeah, I actually had to look, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, well, Rhystic Study's $30. Yeah, I don't really want to pick a $20 card as a budget replacement for it. But no, Search for Azcanta is only $6 right now, and the card is insane. I love it.
It's cheaper than an Ice Age common.
Yeah. And frankly, I'll be honest, in my Commander group these days, I don't think anyone ever draws off Rhystic Study. My entire every single game, where one person says, I'm not going to pay. Well, then no one pays, and then they, without fail, lose the game to the Rhystic Study player. And my group just all accepts the tax most of the time these days. So Rhystic Study is actually not the best turn 3 play for me in my Commander group anymore. But Search for Azcanta, coming down a turn earlier for 2 mana, sets your draws up for the rest of the game. Eventually transform, at which point you've ramped with your 2 mana blue enchantment, because it becomes a land that adds mana, but then it also provides you gas. So I think it's pretty good. Everybody, those are your budget replacement options for Rhystic Study. If you like the segment, make sure to share this. We clip it out and put it on YouTube every week. And if you have any suggestions for future cards you'd like to see us tackle, let us know.